Welcome everyone to the Moisky News for July the 3rd, 2020. Today I would like to talk about the SNP and their tactics for handling coronavirus, but also kickstarting their own economy again. Before that, there is a political recap stream here tonight. We shall mostly be talking about the downfall of one of the greatest nations to ever exist. No, I'm not talking about North Korea, I'm talking about Chaz. And more than likely, the hilarious memes centering around Karen and Ken. Because seriously, that stuff was hilarious. So what has Nicola Sturgeon been doing under the banner and motto of stay safe? Because anything else would be too similar to the UK government, and we must be apex contrarian. Nicola Sturgeon is, in her infinite wisdom, decided to try and catch up with the rest of the UK by announcing further relaxation of Scotland's Corona Chan rules. Those rules being relaxed would include the introduction of mandated face masks in shops. For the sake of it, I get the point of wearing a face mask in a shop, especially when you sneeze in shops, causing tens of thousands of damage to food. And with people panic buying in the past, we can't really risk this. But I do think at the same time, a mandatory face mask is really, really stupid. I know that in Scotland it is mandated on all public transport. I also believe it is in taxis as well if they are at all running, although chances are since they're self-employed, they're all on the dole now because seriously Scotland is behind everyone else. Additionally to the face mask being compulsory, and also to keep up with the rest of the UK, the 2-metre physical distancing rule will be eased for some premises on July the 10th, about a week after everyone else, or maybe 2 actually, in many places since we lowered it to a metre plus, with Nicola Sturgeon also ordering research into the 2-metre rule after England announced the 1 metre plus rule, because Scottish scientists, yo. If anyone remembers some of the more entertaining things that they have discovered over the last 2 years, while they have a history for inventing, apparently their current year scientists are 20 years behind everyone else. I believe their chief scientist is also a chip pan fryer person thingy in a chippy. As you can tell, I also talk science. Children under the age of 12 in Scotland will also no longer need to maintain physical distancing from other households while outdoors, which is interesting because until the age of 12, yeah, most kids do want to hang out with each other, but now most kids have phones, they're quite happy to sit and just use FaceTime, or Omegle and troll people, or make YouTube videos because seriously, join us. One of us. I'm stopping with that, it's cringe. Nicola Sturgeon also said in her view of the serious economic implications of maintaining the rule in all circumstances, she would allow exemptions for specific sectors. Those sectors would include pubs or restaurants being allowed to relax the physical rule when they reopen on the 15th of July if plastic screens are used to separate customers or better ventilation is installed. Ventilation is a good idea. The idea of having, in a pub or a restaurant, at a table of 4, this massive plastic divide creating cubicles for people to go to a pub, a social setting, and be behind a plastic border. Well, that's interesting. In my town, in southeast England, I know some of the pubs have introduced apps. You can book a spot in the pub, when they reopen that is, they've had signs outside, and then you use the app to order your drink and your drink will be brought to you by somebody wearing what looks like a hazmat suit. I can't wait for Weatherspoons to update their uniforms to nuclear. Businesses are also expected to display clear signs to show people they are entering a 1 metre zone and to collect a list of customers and their contact details to help trace them if there is an outbreak. So I believe those details are kept on record for X amount of months, but it's possible X could become permanent, depending on how afraid Scotland is. I wonder if the sales of Buckfast have gone up yet. These changes to the distancing and businesses opening falls in line with Scotland's phase 3, because instead of obeying the UK's 4 stages, they've gone phases 1, 2 and 3 because they want to look good, like the Infinity Saga good. This review for phase 3 to be implemented actually takes place on the 9th of July, so I keenly await that happening. There are many places where there have been no new infections, no new deaths, so many countries, China first of course, are starting to go in the direction of let us get things moving again, because seriously, capitalism, yo. There are business groups in Scotland, CBI most notably, that do in fact welcome this because of the damage that's been done to many people's lives and of course their businesses. But others are concerned because of Scotland's phase 3 with face masks and distancing and all the money that they would have to invest into ventilation or plastic sheets. Acrylic is going to be so popular that they are worried this could in fact damage their business, because not only will it put pressure on them financially, but also the staff will then have to enforce these measures upon customers, which is an odd dynamic when it's always known the customer is always right. It could be very interesting to see how that progresses. With what is happening in Scotland, with them possibly entering stage 3, I am very much interested to know what you all think about it. I personally think, as things are going down and improving except for Leicester, which we should just nuke at this point, bye Leicester, it might be an idea to start relaxing things more and more, because it's going to be impossible to keep everyone indoors, especially now that we're entering the summer. People want to be on the beach, they want to be fishing, they want to be going to the gym again, which baffles me that they're not open yet. Genuinely baffles me, by the way. I really want to go back to my gym, it's actually annoying me now. So please do let me know what you think about what Nicola Sturgeon is doing. If I don't see you here tonight for the political recap stream with Trups LP, have a cracking weekend.